Hi guys, welcome back. I thought I should record a video giving you guys just ways to find out whether you have, not ways, but like the symptoms that you should look out for if you think you have endometriosis. The reason I'm doing this video is because doctors dismiss women, young girls, women a lot. Especially young girls growing up, they'll say that your period pains are normal, and you'll go to them with the maddest of symptoms and they'll be like, oh yeah, everything's normal. I'm doing it in my bed because I am currently on my period, and in a weird way I just thought, you know what, this is probably the best time to film a video like this, because if I feel a symptom I can just share it with you guys, because my memory is just horrible, including my concentration as well. But yeah, so anywho, so I'm gonna start off with symptoms that young girls come to me about, and something that I never necessarily thought was to do with endo or even can be associated with period pains. So sorry guys, my mic has been playing up, so I'm scared. Anywho, the first symptom I'm going to talk about is the leg pain, okay? Leg pain isn't normal. And this is even what made my doctor suggest I had endo. You would think with the way I speak about endometriosis that I've known about it for years. I didn't know what endometriosis was 3 years ago. Didn't have a clue. I literally did not have a clue as to what endo was. Because for so many years doctors never ever suggested endo, because my scans came back as clear, all my tests came back as clear, even though I've had 2 ovarian cysts, and I will talk about symptoms to look out for if you think you have an ovarian cyst as well. But even I had an ovarian cyst, like doctors would be like, oh, everything's come back as normal, we don't think you have endometriosis, this, that and the other. So they would briefly say it, but because everything came back as clear in my head, it just got to a point where I was like, okay, does my body just hate me at this point? Because how are things coming back as clear, but I know it's not normal. Fainting on your period isn't normal, vomiting on your period isn't normal. I know something's wrong. So anyways, I'm going to talk about the leg pain first of all. So I have nerve damage in my left leg due to endometriosis. How it started off, I've been asked whether doctors have officially diagnosed me with nerve damage. I haven't officially been diagnosed, but I've seen private GPs, I've seen I can't remember the neurologist, something like that. I've gone to private hospitals, I've seen them, and they've said I have nerve damage, but I don't know whether it's on my hospital notes, I'm not sure. But I think because it's associated with my endometriosis, doctors just kind of put it into one and just say, yep, it's to do with your endo. So, but it's nerve damage, but it's all associated under one condition, if that makes sense. So anyways, how it happened was, I went to work one day. I used to work at Rolex in Knightsbridge. I went to work, absolutely felt fine, normal. I was ovulating, but I felt alright. And then I had pain in my leg all of a sudden, 2 hours into my shift. And when I had an ovarian cyst last time, my foot swelled up, so I thought, oh my god, I have a cyst again. The pain got worse and worse and worse, to the point where I had to leave work early. Left work early, and then 2-3 days later I felt weaker and weaker. My appetite was going, this, that and the other, so I had to go back into hospital. I went into hospital, got admitted for a week. They didn't know what the pain was. I had I had injections in my leg to prevent a blood clot. I've had ultrasounds on both legs, scans, tests, whatever. Everything came back as normal, but they did see that I was there was blood in my urine, but they still discharged me from hospital. So I felt weak and I just had enough, and I was like, you know what, I just want to go home. So I went home, but I still felt horrible. I lost so much weight. I don't know what I had then, I don't know, because something was clearly wrong, but I don't know. But I still had the leg pain, which was bad, and I was so adamant I had a cyst, but they said they couldn't see a cyst. So went home, and then I think the day after I booked an appointment with a private GP. I was going to go to a private hospital because I live like 10-12 minutes from a private hospital, but I just decided to go see a private GP. So my brother's paid for me to see a private GP, and I went to see a private GP, and he said it's 1,000% something to do with my nerves, because I explained the symptoms. So the symptoms that I have are so basically nothing helps to relieve this pain, right? Sitting down doesn't help, walking doesn't help, exercise doesn't help. Anything and everything can trigger this leg. It gets worse when I'm cramping or any sort of hormonal fluctuation or change. My leg gets worse. It especially gets worse when I'm ovulating, but on my period it does get worse as well. So so what made me even put two and two together and be like, do you know what, this is probably associated with, oh my god, my periods, is the fact that it got worse whenever I was cramping. I have ovulation pain, and whenever I was having ovulation pain, I would also cramp, and it would cause my leg to get worse. When I was on my period, my leg got worse. Any sort of hormone, do you know what I mean? It just got worse. So anyways, the main symptoms prior to when I realised that was that the pain was just on its left, so it's mainly my left leg, hence why it's currently stretched out. And I get pins and needles, really bad pins and needles. Like, it's not like normal pins and needles, painful pins and needles. If I cross my legs for too long, if I'm in a position for too long, I'm currently having them now. So if very painful pins and needles. I get my leg, like, especially my left leg, if I'm walking and I'm walking too fast or whatever, my leg goes red and black. So for my legs to go red, ciao. But my leg kind of goes red, and it gets itchy, like it feels like it's on fire. Second of all, the pain radiates like up to my bum cheek, so literally from the tip of my toes all the way to my bum cheek. It affects my whole leg, my thighs, whatever. What else? Like tingling sensation. Sometimes it can feel like a dull but painful ache. My leg can feel numb but very, very painful. And as I said, it gets worse when I'm ovulating, or it gets worse when I'm on my period. So I remember going to my doctor because I had so many scans, so many tests to see like if I had a trapped nerve or whatever. So I eventually went to my doctor's and I explained my symptoms to him, and he put two and two together, and he was like, wait, it gets worse when you're cramping? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, I don't want to say 100%, but it sounds like you could have endometriosis. And I was like, because when I had the pain in my leg, it set me over the edge. Because I was like, because initially, like I said, I thought it was an ovarian cyst. So when they said it wasn't, that's when I was like, no, you got me fucked up. Because imagine like suffering with period pains for years. At the time, it was like 10 years since I literally got a diagnosis a few months ago via laparoscopy. So imagine suffering for years, for like 10 years, right? Because it was 2 years ago. No. 11 years. Yeah. 11 years of pain, suffering, vomiting, fainting, 2 operations. So you really have to deal with that. And then, boom, you get nerve pain. Oh my God, you get the leg pain. And it's not even like, because this leg pain is an everyday constant thing. But as I said, it gets worse when I'm ovulating. It gets worse when I'm on my period. So imagine suffering with all that. And then one day you wake up and your leg is never the same. I said, you got me fucked up. Like, I swear to God, I was very much over it. I was done. I was like, there's no way that this is a new symptom that will not go away. I've tried medications, I've tried amitriptyline, I've tried codeine, I've tried so many different meds, and I just get the side effects from them, but nothing actually helps. So that's the main thing, the leg pain. If you get leg pain and you have scans, and as I said, if the pain gets worse when you're ovulating, when your period's about, even when you're PMSing, if you're PMSing a week before your periods and you feel the leg pain, it gets worse. Or if the leg pain is constant but it gets worse when you're PMSing, but it gets worse when you're ovulating, or it gets worse when you're on your periods, and your doctor says it's normal, and your scans come back as nothing, you have endometriosis. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not a doctor. Or you could have adenomyosis. I don't want to speak too tough on adenomyosis just because I do not have it, but I do know a lot of the symptoms with adenomyosis and endometriosis are very much linked, but they're very different, but they're very, very similar at the same time. So yeah, I do want to shout out my adenomyosis girls, because I know a lot of people talk about adenomyosis, but please go to your doctor if you get this leg pain. Obviously I'm going to talk about other symptoms as well, but if you've searched up things like PCOS, fibroids, etc., and your symptoms don't match, but your symptoms are close to endo, also mention adenomyosis to your doctor. Don't just mention endo, because you could have adenomyosis, or you could have both. So yeah, that's one of the main symptoms. But anywho, the next symptom I'm going to talk about is a sharp pain you get in your vagina and your bum. Oh, before that, actually, I want to talk about something that I don't really see a lot of people talk about. When your bladder is full, or when you need to empty your bowels, if you have pain because of you have a full bladder, obviously having a full bladder is uncomfortable, but one thing I've realised these recent months, it's like as soon as I got diagnosed with endo, I'm just getting all these extra symptoms. If you have pain, if you're genuinely in pain to the point where it hurts to walk, to bend down or whatever, because your bladder is full, or because you need to empty your bowels, that's not normal. That is absolutely not normal, and that's something that I've realised, but because I've been diagnosed with endo, I've just, two together, went to my doctor about it. She was just like, yep, because you got endometriosis, girl. But yeah, if you have pain when your bladder is full, and when you finally use the toilet, you get relieved, the pain goes. Yeah, don't, please guys, literally, please write these down. It's not normal. Could be endo, could be adenomyosis, but it's not normal. No, the sharp pains. If you have sharp pains in your bum or your vagina, and I know you can get the sharp pains where it stops you, these sharp pains ain't normal. I don't know how to describe these sharp pains. It's like someone is, for me personally, it lasts a minute, and it's it will start off very faint, but it will still make me jolt. It will start off faint, and it's like a flickering pain. And it'll start off faint, but it'll be sharp, and then it'll get sharper and sharper and sharper. And then when it finally stops, it's it feels so sore. My vagina or my bum feels so sore, because it's the worst minute ever. And it will go on constantly throughout the day. This usually happens when I'm PMSing, or especially when I'm ovulating as well. So yeah, and it literally will make me drop. There have been times where I've been standing up talking to my mum, for example, and then I get the pain and I literally drop. I'm not even exaggerating. I am not exaggerating. I hate being on my periods because the pain sucks, guys. I haven't even washed my face today. I've just about brushed my teeth and that's it, okay? Also, I want to say, don't let anyone shame you, because I see on Twitter, social media, girls will be like, oh, if you're on your period and you don't shower, or you're on your period, you don't wash your face, well, you nasty. Listen, girls who say that are the girls that are privileged to not have endo, to not have severe dysmenorrhea, to not have fibroids, to not have PCOS, to not have adenomyosis, to not have endometriosis. Girls who say that are speaking from a place of privilege, because I promise you, if you had a chronic condition, yeah, you can just about get up and brush your teeth. You can just about get up and change your pad. So yeah, don't let anyone shame you because you're in too much pain to have a shower on your period, or because you brush your teeth at 3 p.m. or 5 p.m. Please. But yeah, it doesn't mean you're dirty at all. Don't let anyone shame you, honestly. As I said, they're talking from a place of privilege. If you had a condition, a severe condition, debilitating condition, you wouldn't be judging other people. just a chronic condition in general, you wouldn't be judging people, because even the daily small tasks that we can accomplish when we're not in pain, it's a win. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, I just thought I should put that out there, because I'll be seeing too much, and it's always from illiterate girls who have to use 1,000 soaps to make themselves smell good. Anywho, so yeah, the leg pain, pain in your bowels, when your bladder is full, or even when you need to empty your bowels, sorry. Oh, what else? A sharp pain, vomiting and fainting. I reiterate this in basically every video. Vomiting and fainting on your period isn't normal. It's absolute periods are not meant to be painful. Periods are not meant to be painful. Like, do you know the amount of pain someone needs to be in to the point where they faint because their body literally cannot handle it? Bear in mind, I have a very high pain tolerance. Like, I'm not someone, like, I can firm pain to the point where I can no longer firm it. But yeah, like, I have piercings. I have 20 piercings. I have 9 tattoos. Like, I've got big tattoos. I can firm pain very well. I fall asleep with my tattoo appointments. Like, I'm cool. But my period is just something I cannot firm in the slightest. So as I said, fainting and vomiting is not normal. Being in so much pain that you throw up isn't normal. Being in so much pain that you faint is not normal. Periods aren't meant to be painful. Periods are only meant to last like 1 or 2 days. You're not meant to be in that much pain to the point where you faint. Do you know how much pain someone has to be in to faint? Like, it's not even a joke. So yeah, please, that's not normal. What else isn't normal? Thigh pain on your periods because you're in pain isn't normal. I get thigh pain in both of my thighs to the point where, like, my thighs feel like jelly, and it kind of sometimes radiates down to my legs as well. That isn't normal. That's not normal. Chest pain. Sometimes I get chest pain, and my doctor's I had to get an ECG. My doctor obviously thinks it's associated to my endometriosis. I just want to say endometriosis is a full body condition. It's not just placed in your uterus, your ovaries, whatever. It can be found anywhere. It's been found in the back of people's eyes, on women's brains, in their chest, not their chest, their lungs. Correct myself. Their lungs, nerves. Hence why I got nerve damage. So please, if you have, even women with endo can even have gum disease. They can get gum disease due to endometriosis. Your eyes can be affected. Your teeth can be affected. Endometriosis can grow anywhere in your body. Your kidney, women's bladders, their bowels fuse together. Like, it's a full body condition. So please, if you have chest pain, because sometimes I get chest pain that gets worse, like when I'm PMSing when my period's about to start, don't let doctors say it's normal. It is not normal. And make sure your doctor may suggest an ECG, your doctor may suggest an x-ray for your chest. If they say they can't find anything but you still have that pain, press your doctor about you having endometriosis, or you may have adenomyosis. But don't think, still go and have the ECG and chest pain just to rule out any other underlying condition, God forbid. But if you're having cramps, whatever, and as I said, it gets worse when you're PMSing, or your chest pain gets worse when you're ovulating, or your chest pain gets worse when you're on your period, please press your doctor about you possibly having endo, because that's not normal. What else? There's so many other symptoms. Pain in your belly button, sharp pain in your belly button when you're on your periods, when you're cramping. It's not normal. That is not normal. Pain during sex or after sex is not normal, to the point where you're like crippling over. It's not normal. And I think with things like that, please speak up. you know, if you are having sex, tell the person that you're having sex with that they need to take it easy. Explain your condition. And honestly, I just feel like you shouldn't be having sex with someone that you're not comfortable explaining things like that to. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, if you're having pain during sex or after sex, especially in certain positions, like, bro, speak up, like, and tell that person. It's not like they're intentionally trying to hurt you, but they're not gonna know they're hurting you until you voice how you voice it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, heavy periods. I personally don't get heavy periods. I don't really get blood clots. I only really get them when I have a cyst or like after my operations, but I don't really get blood. I do, but not to the point where I'm like, whoa, what the hell. But yeah, heavy periods to the point where you're bleeding through tampons and pads. It's not normal. My laptop like dims itself. I don't know whether it's gonna like stop the recording. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that's not normal. Bleeding through thick ass pads isn't normal. Extremely heavy periods isn't normal. Ovulation pain isn't normal. Vomiting whilst ovulating isn't normal. I've actually been admitted into hospital due to ovulation. I don't know the correct term wording for it because I was only 17 and I was like, what the hell is this? But when I was ovulating, obviously when you ovulate, an egg is travelling. Whilst that egg was travelling, it burst open. The fluids in the egg caused my stomach lining to be irritated, and I was vomiting for hours. My mum was like, what the fuck? My stomach was killing. Had to be driven to hospital. Was vomiting in my mum's car, which was great. Vomited in my favourite blanket, which was great. Had to be wheeled into hospital. Got put into A&E for a few days. Went to a gynaecologist, and he was like, yep, we can see you're ovulating right now. And that's what happened. Yeah, so yeah, if you end up vomiting to the point where you have to go to hospital, it's not normal. It's not normal at all. My doctor actually, I think that was the first time I ever took birth control, because he was like, to prevent that from happening, stop your periods. Not even, maybe you have an underlying condition, just stop your periods, you know. And they gave me the devil's pill, aka birth control. I call birth control the devil's pill because it is the devil's pill. The devil made birth control. I don't want to hear girls' stories talking about birth control help me. I don't give a shit. It's the devil's pill. Anywho, so yeah, that was the first time I ever got prescribed that birth control. I've been on like 4 different ones, and they all landed me in A&E, which is great. But yeah, vomiting when you're ovulating isn't normal. Migraines before your periods, not normal. Migraines on your period isn't normal. Migraines after your period isn't normal. Migraines whilst you're ovulating is not normal. Pain when you're ovulating isn't normal to the point where you're in debilitating pain and you're bedbound. Not normal. Basically, if you're having pain so bad to the point where it stops you from doing any daily tasks, that is not normal. I've had to stop working. My secondary school, like the last few years of secondary school, was hard. I had to change my GCSEs because back then we had an art project we had to do during the summer. I ended up having an ovarian cyst. Spent my whole summer basically in hospital, in and out. Had an operation. So yeah, to the point where it literally stops you from doing things, from pursuing things. I had to drop out of college because of my periods. I couldn't go uni because of my periods. I now can't work because of my periods. If your period pains are stopping you from doing anything, daily things, that shit isn't normal. If it's stopping you from brushing your teeth because you're in so much pain, from having a shower, from you need help when you're eating, you need help to cook, you need help to do daily things that a lot of us take for granted, that is not normal, okay? It's not normal. PMS pain is not normal. I had PMS 9 days before my period. And then my period starts, and it lasts 5 days. After my period's done, like 2 days after my period's done, I get migraines that last 2 days. After that's done, let's say 4 days after, I ovulate. the whole duration of my ovulation, I get pain. And even if I'm not cramping, I'll have the nerve pain, which is fucking painful. All of that isn't normal. Now I'm going to talk about ovarian cysts. So I've had 2 ovarian cysts. I had one when I was like 14. It ruptured on my ovary, got sent home, went A&E hundreds of times, not hundreds, like 4 times. Got sent home each time. And when I was younger, I used to do ballet and tap dancing. I've done it for like 10 years. So I was a very slim girl. I've always been slim, but I was more so a bit skinny. I didn't like food when I was younger. I was very fussy. So I was skinny. Doctors just kept saying, oh, she's probably hungry. No, the 4th time I went into A&E, actually, the doctor was like, oh, she's probably hungry. That's why her stomach's hurting. My mum smashed that room. And they had to take her into another room. And they said, okay, we're going to admit your daughter. Why does a mum have to bug out? Bear in mind, you don't know the stereotype of black people anyways. Why does a mother have to bug out? My mum literally said, if anything happens to my daughter, if she dies, if something severe happens to her and she dies, you lot are finished. You're all finished. And they finally admitted me. They thought it was my appendix. And obviously at the time I was too young to have a transvaginal scan, so I just kept getting ultrasounds. Well, I was a virgin, so that's why I didn't get transvaginal scans. But had so many tests, whatever, they thought it was my appendix. There was one night I was screaming and crying in pain. It got worse and worse and worse. I'm sure that's when the cyst ruptured. So doctors came in at like, bear in mind I was still in the children's ward still, so like other parents were literally like looking to see if I'm okay. Doctors came in, they were like, we don't know what's wrong with you, but you're having an emergency operation in the morning, because what the fuck. Had the operation, it was meant to take an hour, ended up taking 5 hours. My mum's like, what the fuck is wrong with my daughter? They were like, hey, I woke up and they were like, hey, girl, you have an ovarian cyst that burst open on your ovary. I said, what the fuck is an ovarian cyst and what the fuck is an ovary, bitch? I was so confused. I can't really remember my symptoms then because I was young, but from what I can remember, each day my symptoms progressively got worse. So the first day, I just lost my appetite. The second day I couldn't really walk, I was like leaning over like this. Third day, losing appetite, couldn't walk properly, my back was hurting. Fourth day, couldn't walk, leaning over, back was hurting, dizziness. Symptoms progressively got worse and worse and worse and worse as days went by, to the point where my mum was like, okay, we're taking you to hospital. The second time I had an ovarian cyst, so the first time was on my right ovary. I had an open surgery because they thought it was my appendix, and then they saw the cyst, but because the cyst was bigger than a tennis ball, they said, and it burst open. I'm guessing that's also why I had open surgery. Anyways, second time, I remember, do I remember? No, it was basically the same symptoms, to be fair. It was on my left ovary. It was a 5 centimeter cyst. So my foot swelled up. I think that was the only difference between the first and second time. My foot swelled up, loss of appetite, couldn't stand straight, dizziness, weight loss, feeling very, very sick. I didn't vomit, but I just felt very, very sick. Couldn't do nothing, no daily activity, no nothing. I think this was even during COVID, to be fair. So yeah, couldn't do any activities. Just felt weak, overall felt very weak, and my left side mainly was hurting, and I knew I had a cyst, like I just 100% knew it. Oh, actually, I was having pain up here. You see where your shoulder blade is? This is your shoulder blades? The pointy bit, like here. I was having pain there, but on my left side. And I was like, what the hell? So I was having pain so bad up there to the point where I couldn't really like bend or stretch or move around and do anything. So I think I just knew something was wrong. So I went to hospital, done a transvaginal scan, and as soon as she like put it in and she said, okay, she's gonna check the left ovary, she stared at it for a second, and I was like, I have a cyst, don't I? She looked at me, she was like, how do you know? And I was like, I know my body. I just started laughing. She was like, girl, you do. And I was like, I know, thanks babe. But she was lovely, to be fair. So yeah, the 2 days after that I had surgery and took out the cyst. I had a cyst again April last year. It was causing me symptoms, but because I've already had 2 surgeries, the more surgeries you have in your ovaries, the weaker they can get, and it can make you infertile. So the doctors were just like, okay, we're gonna monitor you as the months go by. When we don't want to operate on you. Obviously, if it got too big, they would have to, but they were like, we don't want to operate on you. So the symptoms that I had that I talked about previously were literally the same, and that's when I was like, I think I have a cyst. So yeah, they were just like, we're going to monitor you and check. Hopefully the aim was for the cyst to shrink, which it did, thank God. But I'm clearly just prone to getting ovarian cyst, which is annoying, but I haven't had one in a while. I mean, I don't think I have, because even when I had my surgery for my endometriosis, I didn't find a cyst or nothing, which is good. A fun fact, every girl gets a cyst when they're ovulating, but it does go away. And it's very, very small. It shouldn't cause no pain. But yeah, they do tend to go away, but mine clearly love to stay. But yeah. So ovulation pain isn't normal. PMS isn't normal. Migraines aren't normal. I also tweeted, actually, I feel like doctors need to kind of test women's hormone levels. I think it's an oncologist. I can't remember the name, guys. I'm probably going wrong. But even if it's not a doctor who directly does that, I do feel like doctors need to bring this up and say there are actually people who can test your hormone levels. And I know women say, oh, our hormones fluctuate so much that it may not be accurate, but I honestly feel like a lot of women, especially who suffer with underlying conditions such as endometriosis, PCOS, a lot, like adenomyosis, even if you have an ovarian cyst or whatever, just a woman as a whole, I feel like we have the right to know, especially if, as I said, we suffer with chronic conditions like those, because majority of the time I feel like my hormones are in hell. They're actually in hell. Like, they're not normal. Like, and I can tell when my hormones aren't normal because I have migraines. Like, it's so weird. I feel like I can tell when my hormones are very low. Like, my migraines are horrible, or my leg pain gets worse. So like, there's so many symptoms where I'm like, And I think because I've been going through this for so many years, I know my body so well. I usually get like, you lot can't even see. You guys can't see, but I get a spot. But I might not have clear skin. I get a spot just here or here. As soon as I get that spot, I'm like, these kids are really... Get these kids back to school. Anyways, I get spots and I know, my period's gonna start. I get a migraine and I'm like, my period's gonna start in a few days. Like, I just know my body so well that even when I have a cyst, it's like these doctors cannot try gaslight me. You can't. Brain fog as well, guys. I get really bad brain fog. I mean, this might not be due to, like, I know mine's because of endo, but brain fog is associated with endometriosis. But yeah, if you just naturally get brain fog but you don't have any symptoms, then that's not bad job. But me, I get that shit. But if you have all these other symptoms and you get brain fog, yeah, I'd be forgetting shit. I'd be forgetting so much shit. But yeah, these are like the main symptoms I can think of. But if you have symptoms that I haven't mentioned, then comment them down below. But yeah, these are like the main things I can think of. As I said, please, I'm trying to reiterate, ovulation pain isn't normal. Like, I cramp when I'm ovulating, my leg pain gets worse when I'm ovulating, sometimes I have chest pain, I get migraines, I feel sick, or sometimes I vomit. Light sensitivity as well, especially when I have my migraines, like, light really hurts. Like, I can barely even look at my phone. PMS pain to the point when your bedbound isn't normal. Period pains, vomiting, fainting, the shooting pain in your bum, your vagina, pain after sex or during sex, pain when you're urinating, or pain when you're emptying your bowels, pain when your bladder's full, or pain when you need to empty your bowels. All of that isn't normal. It's not normal. Getting sharp pain in your belly button when you're urinating isn't normal. I'm trying to think of these symptoms, but yeah, they're like all the main symptoms that I have. So yeah, I thought I should give you guys an insight. And as I said, girls with adenomyosis, or girls who think they have adenomyosis, yeah, the symptoms are very similar, but I know they are slightly different as well. But yeah, these are the main symptoms. But I'm gonna go now, guys, because I feel like shit. I feel like 2 packs of hot ass. I'm hungry, but I do feel very sick, and my cramps, and I can just feel everything just coming out of me. It's just not nice. But yeah, my comfortable bed, my cushions. Ooh, child. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, I'm gonna go because yeah, I'm very hot. Have a fan somewhere. Oh, it's gonna be loud on the mic. Do you know what? I'm not even popular stage one. So you guys like my new glasses, by the way. People ask me what glasses these are, or where I got them from, as if I got them from Shein. They're Specsavers. I literally cannot see. I can see, but I have to wear them when I'm on my phone or driving. Or on the computer. And I use my computer to play Sims. So yeah. Do you guys like my teddy bear Burberry? I got him when I was 9 years old when I went to Atlanta. And the workers in Burberry said I'm beautiful. And they were releasing a perfume that came with a teddy bear. And I think it's like the first 100 people to buy the perfume got a teddy bear for free. But I didn't buy the perfume, but they still gave me the teddy bear and the perfume for free because of pretty privilege. So yeah, that was great. Anyways, let me go because I'm waffling. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me on TikTok, and Instagram, Twitter, oh I said Instagram, Snapchat. Try not to message me on Snapchat actually, because I don't have the setting where like it pops up with people's messages if I don't accept you. So I might not see your messages on Snapchat, but try it. Like, if anything, message me on Instagram and I will definitely see, or TikTok or Twitter especially. But yeah, I'm gonna go.